Manchester United's Champions League doubleheader against Atalanta gives me the opportunity to preview one of Europe's most intriguing sides. The maverick approach of Gasperini puts him in the same category as Guardiola and Bielsa in terms of his unique take on football, and it's this tactical fluency that has made Atalanta one of the most exciting teams in Europe over the last 2 seasons. To see how he does it and what United need to do to combat it, let's go to the whiteboard. Atalanta play with a 3-4-2-1 formation. With the ball, Atalanta spread their centre-backs across the pitch to create these possession triangles in midfield. They isolate the opposition's midfield with these wide overloads, enabling them to play through the lines with great efficiency, with the wing-backs playing a huge role in the formation of these midfield triangles. Going to screenshots of Atalanta's game against Villarreal, we can see the possession triangle Atalanta have created and how this has isolated Pino. 2 simple passes and Atalanta have got goal side of Villarreal's forward defensive line. But the intriguing part is, when Atalanta break defensive lines, their attacking midfield players drop into the half spaces, maintaining these possession triangles and overloads throughout the length of the pitch. At times, you will see this as a diamond, depending on whether the attacking midfielder drops into the half space after the defensive line has been broken to create another triangle, or if they were already in that position, creating the diamond. Going to a screenshot of Atalanta's game against Inter Milan, we can see the possession triangle Atalanta have created to isolate Barella, with Malinowski dropping into the half space to provide a progressive passing option after the defensive lines have been broken. Going back to the whiteboard, if the opposition reacts to the overload, Atalanta will look to switch the ball out to the other wing back. They achieve this by leaving a man in midfield to exploit the space created through the overload, and a simple ball into midfield and out to the other flank takes the opposition's reaction to the overload out of the game. Going to another screenshot of Atalanta's game against Inter Milan, we can see how Atalanta's overload has pulled Inter across, opening up the space centrally. Freuler holds his position in the space, offering the switch option if needed. With Atalanta's possession patterns in mind, how does this fit within United's defensive formation, and how can United disrupt Atalanta's rhythm? All season, we have seen United show a complete reluctance to high press. Instead, United settled back into a mid to low defensive block, with all outfield players zonal marking the pitch, instead of engaging the ball and opposition players. This has caused 2 issues. United's control of the space between the lines has been poor. There is too much space between the lines, which allows opposition players to pick up positions that provide progressive passing options to break the defensive lines. In addition to this, because United have been taking a zonal approach to manage the field, they are not engaging the ball or opposition players, making it easy for teams to keep the ball for long periods and create chances. Going to screenshots of the Villarreal game, Torres holds the ball for 10 seconds before he passes it, with 0 pressure applied to him. 1 minute and 11 seconds and 14 passes later, Villarreal end up in United's box with a striker goal. To have the ball for that period and play such few passes that end up in our box is indicative of how passive United are without the ball. Against Villarreal, we could have conceded 5 or 6 easy if they had a striker who could finish. With Muriel, Sabata, Ilicic and Malinowski, they have the firepower to punish us in a way that Villarreal couldn't. Out of possession, Atalanta adopt a man-for-man system, not too dissimilar to Leeds, which United have had huge success against. We can see Atalanta's man-for-man approach in this screenshot. When playing against Leeds, United simply use Fernandes to pull the lead single pivot out of position, opening up the centre of the field for United's midfield runners. That won't happen against Atalanta because they play with a double pivot, but there is another area of the field in which huge spaces can be created against Atalanta's man-for-man system. Atalanta's wing-backs will push up on United's full-backs, opening this space up on the outside of the centre-back. As long as one of United's forwards positions themselves against Atalanta's outside centre-back to hold them, these spaces will remain open. It will then be for either McTominay, Fernandes or United's inverted winger on that side to attack the space. Going to a screenshot of Atalanta's game against Villarreal, Zappacosta has pushed out 12 Honzo, creating this huge space. The space is maintained by the position of Dia, preventing Toloi from stepping across to plug this space. What Villarreal lacked was a midfield runner to attack this space. Manager's 101 tactics to gain the tactical advantage over a wing-back system is to exploit the space in behind the opposition's wing-backs. This is something United were incredibly poor at against Villa, with Pogba and Greenwood playing too narrow, to exploit the space in behind Cash and Target. These spaces will be there in abundance against Atalanta, and United need to be more efficient at exploiting them. In my analysis of the Villa game, I said that Sancho's wing play was cut out to exploit a wing-back system, so I feel starting with Sancho would be a good move. But whoever plays either side of Ronaldo, they have to hold their width to make the most of the space in behind Atalanta's wing-backs on the transition and create the overloads in build-up play. Going to a screenshot of Atalanta's game against Villarreal, on the transition, we can see the huge spaces either side of Atalanta's back three, with their wing-backs not even in the picture. The Devil's verdict prediction is, I feel the game at Old Trafford will end in a high-scoring draw, probably 2-2. This won't be a bad result, as Atalanta have had excellent away results in both the Champions League and Serie A over the last 3 years. In my opinion, they are a better away side than home side. But as long as United get their tactics right in the away fixture, I think United could take this Atalanta side apart on the transition. But United getting their tactics right is a big if. So what are those tactics? For me, it's quite simple. United need to close the space between the lines, defend the half spaces to disrupt their possession triangles, and play with width on the transition to exploit the space in behind the wing-backs. Let me know in the comments how you see this crucial double header going. Thank you for watching, and please like, subscribe and share, and I'll see you in the next video.